What's up, everybody? Good afternoon. I know a lot of videos this afternoon, a lot of videos today, a lot of stuff happening, a lot of things happening quickly, but you got to stay on top of stuff, right? You got to stay on top of stuff when you're following any sports team. And today's the day where you really got to be on top of things with the Seahawks because a lot of things happened very quickly today. So I want to talk about some injury stuff in this video. I know we don't have the practice report yet. But Macdonald gave a press conference a little bit earlier. I think it just wrapped up a few minutes ago as of me recording this video, where he outlined a lot of the things that we probably want to know about. So we have a good amount of information right now, even though we don't have the practice report. So I want to go over some of the things that Macdonald had to say. It's mostly good news. Like today's actually shaping up to be a pretty decent day. So let's start with the fallout from the trade. Let's start with the Tyrell Dodson moving from the middle to weak side, becoming the will linebacker, and Ernest Jones the fourth will be the Mike. So I believe Dodson played the will linebacker in Buffalo, so it's not like he's never done it before. So if anything, it's a move that might help him. So not against it. And also worth noting that Macdonald believes that Ernest Jones IV will be ready to play against the Bills on Sunday. The Tennessee defense is very similar to the Macdonald defense. So he's not going to have to learn brand new stuff. It's just going to be like terminology and nomenclature more than anything. And he's also going to have to learn how to play with these teammates. But sounds like he'll be ready to play on Sunday against Buffalo. So that's what's going on there. Not against it, right? Again, I want to stress this. When Macdonald took over defensive play calling and coordinator responsibilities in Baltimore, that defense was not that good until they made the big Roquan Smith trade. So if this ends up unlocking the Seahawks defense in the way that Roquan unlocked the Baltimore defense, it's totally worth it. And if he's going to move some players around a little bit so they're a little more comfortable, that can't be bad too. Now, Dodson will continue to wear the green dot. He will continue to be the captain out there, the quarterback of the defense, the play caller, which, I mean, it'd be pretty crazy if you suddenly asked Ernest Jones to come in with less than a week's notice and then be the play caller on the field. So, no surprise there. Can't imagine that changes at any time. But yeah, Dodson continues to wear the green dot. So that's the main stuff when it comes to Jones. That's the stuff that pertains to him. But now we have some more injury-related updates for the rest of this video. And again, it's not bad news. Macdonald has confirmed that Metcalf will not practice today and probably won't practice tomorrow, which we should have expected that, right? We're smart people. We know what a grade 1 MCL strain is. However, and this is the interesting part, and Macdonald has been very, very vague about injury stuff anyway, so this could just be him messing around, but Macdonald did not rule Metcalf out for Sunday's game. Keep in mind, and this is from Field Goals here, when DK had a knee injury 2 years ago, he was a DNP Wednesday and Thursday, limited Friday, and then he played versus the Giants. So he's proven before that he's made of tougher stuff. So there is certainly a scenario where DK Metcalf ends up playing on Sunday, which it would make me uncomfortable, believe me. I would not be excited to see it 100%. I would be mostly excited, but there would definitely be a part of me that's like, man, that's a lot. That's a lot to come back from in 1 week. But for whatever it's worth, Macdonald's ruled out players before, right? About a month ago, he told us straight up, Nwosu's not going to play on Sunday on a Wednesday. So he will rule a guy out on Wednesday if he knows he's not going to play, but he's kind of admitting here that, yeah, I don't know, maybe he will play. And Macdonald also said that he doesn't necessarily need to practice in order to play. So this could be a scenario where he doesn't practice all week, but then he's good to go by game day. So not going to rule it out. But at the same time, it's an uneasy moment, right? It's an uneasy moment to have a guy out there when you know he's significantly less than 100%. So we'll see what happens, but options are open is what I'm trying to get at here. And that is good news because it's going to be hard to beat Buffalo anyway. It's going to be really hard to beat him without your best receiver. More good news here. Abraham Lucas, remember that guy? Has been designated to return to practice along with George Fant. So both our starting and second string right tackles have been designated to return to practice today. So they are both looking to get on the field in the near future, sooner rather than later. So if you were wondering if we were going to see Abe Lucas at all this year, it looks like we will. Maybe we only see him for a little bit, but we're going to see him. And Fant started the year. So his turnaround is probably going to be a little bit quicker. Macdonald has kind of indicated already that Abe Lucas could take a while to get back because he's practicing for the first time in over 9 months. So that's not something you just shake off in a couple of days. And Macdonald already said that they're looking at getting him back after the bye week. So that would be the maximum of that practice window. But they are looking at getting him back right after the bye week. So that would be what, the Niners? That would be the Niners game in San Fran. That would be the target. And based on what we're hearing, it seems like there's a pretty good chance of it happening. Now, George Fant, I don't know. I don't think George Fant will play this week, but he was only out for a month plus, a little bit more than a month, right? So realistically, you're probably looking at a scenario where he could be back by the Rams game. And I know we all love Mike Jarrell right now, but I'm sure that George Fant would get his job back from Mike Jarrell if he's there to take it. So you are probably looking at Fant getting the opportunity to play as soon as he's healthy, and that could be as soon as, I'd say, next week. So good news here, strengthening the offensive line a little bit. Stone Forsythe will not practice today, so there's, I'd say, pretty strong chance that Forsythe has just kind of lost his job to Jarrell until we get another right tackle in there. So I do think we'll see Jarrell for at least one more week, but we'll see what happens with Forsythe later. I've said it before, I'll say it again. Forsythe's a left tackle, shouldn't be playing on the right side. Let him back up cross and just let Jarrell do what Jarrell's going to do. I'm not saying it's going to be amazing. I'm sure teams are going to get a little bit of tape on him, and it's going to get rough. But it was rough with Forsythe. Let's not pretend otherwise. At least let Forsythe play his natural position. All right, so that's the updates regarding the offensive line. Macdonald commented on Woolen, expected to practice today, and if he's practicing today, that means he's almost for sure going to be playing on Sunday, so that's great news. Trey Brown will not practice today. Trey is day-to-day, according to Macdonald, so he could come back very soon. So we're getting probably our most important missing player back this week from last week. And the secondary is going to look very different and a lot better with him out there. Now, Trey Brown, we'll see. We'll see. I don't feel too badly about the Trey Brown thing right now. Day-to-day is not the worst, but it's something that could definitely linger on. We're definitely aware of that possibility. Macdonald also said they'll probably get Artavis Burns back later this season. Obviously, he's on IR. He's not going to be back anytime soon, but he's believed that he will be back. So that's good news. And that's really about it in terms of the Macdonald updates, the injury stuff. There was one other thing that I found to be kind of interesting from the media availability today. This is from Greg Bell. Dre'Mont Jones got up on the podium today, and he mentioned something that did kind of get my attention here. Because obviously Dre'Mont Jones is struggling right now. He's not really playing that well. He played well against Atlanta, but overall it's been a struggle for him this year. A lot of people unhappy with him. So he, according to him, he's been pushing through personal adversity off the field during this season. He didn't want to give the details, per Greg Bell, but this is interesting. And I do want to mention that this stuff does matter, right? And maybe it also makes people think about the way in which they interact with these athletes sometimes, because I know that Laken Tomlinson, just as off the top of my head, an example, is a player that gets a lot of social media abuse from fans. We saw it with Mitch Garver last year for the Mariners. He got a lot of abuse from fans. And you see something like this, and it does make you think, what if this is what is throwing his game off a little bit more than we're used to? So Just something to think about when you're thinking about Dre'Mont Jones so far this year. Just, I don't know. Um, I think that when it comes to players like Dre'Mont Jones or Laken Tomlinson or Anthony Bradford, the comments that fans make can pretty easily turn into something like genuinely nasty. And I don't know. Maybe reading something like this, being aware of the fact that he's going through stuff off the field that he doesn't even want to talk about in detail. I don't know. Maybe as a fan, it gives you something to think about. Okay, so I just wanted to shed a little bit of light on that because I did find that to be a little bit, at least a little bit compelling. All right, I'm out. See you guys later. Go Hawks. More videos coming later. A lot to talk about today, but I wanted to go ahead and get those Macdonald updates out as soon as possible. See you guys later.